probably should say at this stage that um, there's 2 days basically of travelling missing from the last episode, going across the top of Australia from episode 7. It had been a bit of a weird trip for us going across the top. It'd be really hot, really windy, and but we was pretty much feeling the loss of our mate Marty. He passed away while we were in Broome, and then I don't know what you call it, like the butterfly effect or something. Every morning we had plans, and every morning we got up and we knew exactly what we were doing that day and where we were going to end up. We get on our bikes, get down the road, and something would change. Something out of the blue would happen. It completely changed our day, changed where we ended up. So it changed the trip right across the top. The first day when we left Broome, something really nice happened to us, unexpected. Happened just 30 k's out of Broome, and it changed our mood for the day. And then the next fuel stop, we couldn't get fuel, so they put us a couple of we had to go out of our way to get fuel. So we ended up staying in Fitzroy Crossing where we had no intention of staying. And then something nice happened there. It was just out of the blue, we had no intention of stopping there, but we ended up there anyway. And the next 2 days, I don't know, it was just a bit of a blur, really. After Fitzroy's Crossing, we stopped at a place called Dyna Station, which is kind of in between Wyndham and Lake Eyre. But I never really took any footage, or I don't know, it was just like we were passengers, the bikes knew where they were going. We were just sitting there holding on. It didn't really take much, I couldn't tell you what the scenery was like or anything really for those 2 days until we and then I don't know, the mood kind of changed when we got to Victoria River. The scenery changed, it got greener. It's just a really nice place. It had a good feel about it. And then so it was a 4-day ride. So it took us to get from Broome right across and up to Kakadu near Darwin. So I know it doesn't look like that in that episode, but I don't know what happened. It was just a bit of a blur. A couple of days in the middle there. And we'd run out of fuel at one stage as well. Sometimes you can't get good fuel, and with the headwinds, we were carrying extra fuel, so it wasn't a problem. But it was unexpected, something really unexpected. We get about 320 kilometres out of our tanks, no problem. But on this particular leg of the trip, I only got 260 kilometres out of my tank. And I'm going, no, I'll make it, no worries. Didn't even get close. To Timber Creek, I think we were heading for. And and that was just, I don't know, bad fuel. Our bikes run on 98, and a lot of those little outback places you can only get 91. And I don't know, they probably don't flush their tanks. Some of the fuel's not very good. It hasn't got much octane in it, I don't think. So to lose 50 kilometres out of one tank was, I didn't expect that. But it was windy and it was bad fuel. But anyway, so look, there was a couple of days missing where I just didn't record it. I don't know why, and to be honest, looking back, I probably can't even tell you what the scenery was like. And then when we got to up to Kakadu, something else really weird happened to the bikes, and we were still really feeling, it had only been 5 days since our mate Marty had died, and we were still kind of grieving and feeling that. And with Owens riding Marty's bike, he'd brought Marty's bike up, and so we had a big chunk of Marty with us coming around Australia, so we felt like he was with us all the time. And I don't know, it was a weird stage in the trip, going across the top and after losing Marty, and then when we got up to Kakadu, same kind of thing, you know, just the day just kept changing, you know. It was like everything was out of our hands, really, like we were just passengers. But anyway, I'll get on with this one. But at the end of it, after our day up in Kakadu, we came back down and we were a little bit flipped out, and so we thought, we'll have a drink, and we got a little bit shit faced, and probably had one too many, and I've cut and chopped it as quite a bit to try and get the foul language out of it. I'm not that clever yet on my videos I don't know how to beep things out, so so I've cut little bits and pieces out of it where the language is a little bit too out of hand, but I'll apologise first up for my foul mouth. Obviously when I'm drinking I can't get a sentence out without dropping the F-bomb, but anyway, let's get on with it. Well, it was time to leave Victoria River and head to Katherine, which is about 200 kilometres away. It was another 37-degree day. It was pretty windy as well on this day, so we headed up to Katherine and had a bit of a look around there and stocked up with some supplies, some food and stuff. And it was so hot and windy. We thought, we're not going to go all the way to Darwin. We'll go to Pine Creek, which is just at the base of Kakadu. So it seemed like it'd be a nice place to set ourselves up, and then we can do day trips into Kakadu and do a bit of croc spotting and check the place out, rather than going all the way up into Darwin. So we did that. We headed up. We've seen a lot of where fires had gone through, and we come across one little one here that was we come across a couple, but I only managed to get one on film that was still burning. I don't know whether they were grass fires or burn offs or what they've been doing, but it was extremely hot and windy. It was pretty dangerous anyway. And this sort of fire here was almost out. Some of it was still burning, some was smouldering. But we passed a lot of places like this today that were still smoking or still burning. I think the wind had a lot to do with it. But you can see through here it's all been burned out before. So we found ourselves this caravan park in Pine Creek called the Lazy Lizard, and settled in there for a couple of days. And it was a really fun place actually. Met some pretty hard case people, nice pub and everything there. Some of that had just been still smouldering, so I didn't get it on film. And that was as far up as we got in the middle, was to Pine Creek. Didn't get all the way to Darwin. Then we went some croc spotting, and there was fruit bats everywhere at night time. We just sit back and watch the fruit bats fly around, making a racket. And then the next morning, off into Kakadu we were.
See the truck? Yeah. It's going over to that boat. I think it's going to feed it.
So we got right up into the national park, and it was still stinking hot. It was still 37 degrees and it was pretty windy. And our bikes started playing up. The alarms went off on both our bikes. We couldn't get our bikes started for ages, so it kind of took too much time. By the time we got it sorted out, it took too much time out of our day. So we headed back down. So basically we did a 2-hour ride up into the Kakadu, and then mucked around for an hour or so trying to get our bikes going, and We just ended up doing a 2-hour ride back down to Pine Creek. Yeah, it was just a hot stinking day. Everything was a long walk away, you know. Owen's got bad knees, and that was down dirt tracks and all kind of stuff. So we went back and we thought, we were a bit spun out by what our bikes had done. So we had a couple of beers anyway that night and did our weekly check-in to say good day. Yeah, we're a little bit messy, but... Hey Rolene, anyway, when we left Broome, we were like 30 kilometres down the road. We stopped at a roadhouse, and when we walked out to our bikes, there's this married couple looking at their bikes.
Lovely people.
And she gave us this big fucking hug. Like I tell you what, it was like a 10-foot tall person gave us a hug, lifted us both up, and it was just random. It was just random as we come out of the fucking roadhouse.
It's like we're back in NZ.
Yeah.
On the Moray.
Oh,
giving everyone a kiss.
Built us up, you know, got me going. Earlier on, we'd fucking heard about these guys that were riding around Australia the other way. These 3 guys on Harleys. And they got a mate in Norseman where we'd stayed. It's got brain tumours and it's not off real good for him. So they decided to ride down from Darwin and go and see him one last time. So we stayed at this pub and say, oh, well, fuck, if you're going up that way, look out for 3 guys. This is like about fucking 2,500 kilometres. There's no way we're going to, right. Yeah. The chances of running into it was pretty rare.
Didn't expect it.
You know, being on the road at the same time. So, and she goes, oh, look, these guys, they're coming down to see me husband. So keep an eye out for them. I said, well, tell them to keep an eye out for the guys with the blue bags. You can't miss us. We've got the big blue bags on the bike. So we went through, we've been going through Aboriginal communities and stopping at roadhouses. And we've been talking to the Aboriginals as well, you know.
Fitzroy Crossing.
Fitzroy Crossing.
We filled up and we had to take turns to
pay.
Because there was opportunities.
It was the kids. It was the kids, mate. Fucking, they were on us like flies. Anyway, so we'd already worked out we were not fucking staying at Fitzroy Crossing. Pulled into this gas station and there was fucking no petrol. And we had to go like an hour out of our way to go to fucking Derby to get petrol just to make it. So we ended up in fucking Fitzroy Crossing, and it was route time. We thought, oh fuck, what are we going to do? We don't want to stay here. Fuck no. So anyway, fuck it. So we were ringing around, checking out the caravan parks and shit. So, you know, where can we stay? And the one just back up the road. They got tent sites, fucking. So we'll go and stay there, right? And oh fuck, we'll just sleep with everything and hug up to it, you know. So we pull in there. There's 3 fucking Harleys. You wouldn't fucking believe it. So we parked up next to their bikes and we went into the restaurant. We go, you guys not heading to Norseman, are you? We go, yeah, you're not the with the blue bags, are you? Fucking bang.
Here we were.
There we were. And there they were. So, and it's just gone like that the whole trip, you know. And we fucking tripped out today. Fucking seriously, there's shit going on. Like both our bikes, the alarm's going off today. It was just fucking bizarre. We couldn't start our bikes. We ridden all the way up 2 hours. All the way up into the fucking Kakadu. And we fucking pulled up
to a town called Jabiru. Pulled up in front of the township.
Yeah.
And we couldn't start our bikes.
I get off my fucking bike, turn it off, get on my bike, my alarm starts going, because mine's got a screamer, his is fucking silent.
Yeah, so I didn't think there was anything wrong with mine. But then fucking Trevor gets his started after we push it behind this tree. And then it starts up, he goes and fuels up. Mine won't start up. My bike has never not started up.
Fuck. Bizarre shit. So anyway, Eddie, I'll tell you what, if Marty had anything to do with that, he probably saved us from having a heart attack today. Because we were going to go down 10 kilometres of dirt road and then work fucking took in the 37-degree heat.
We were going to walk
and probably me, I would have had a heart attack before I got there. His knees would have gone.
What is this shit?
So we had a 4-hour ride. We just fucking, they're really grass grindy roads. And it's fucking awesome countryside. We've seen a couple of crocodiles. But
we've seen crocodiles. That was our aim today, was to see a croc.
I felt like a bit of a passenger today. And
I know you're feeling like a bit of a passenger at the moment. But
Yeah. It's a
it's
hard
not
time.
always gonna feel like it's not always gonna feel this bad, eh?
It's a hard time after everyone leaves.
Yeah, we're having a beer. We're pretty fucking shit faced.
And we're gonna finish this fucking ride.
And we're gonna finish this fucking ride.
Kia kaha. Rolling. Kia kaha.